Previously on part 1.
Looks like we gotta cross. You sure we can't cross? Oh no. That water is moving really fast. Are you gonna do it? Oh, chala, no, that's too much. Chala. Chala. I don't know, suddenly I got really emotional.
Okay. It's okay. Good sit there.
Right.
What happened?
One of my friends passed away that day.
Just put your back down. The rest of it good.
Apparently this flood only happened a couple hours ago. Our team is way ahead of it, so I don't think they had to experience this. It's pretty scary because there are a lot of trekkers that are crossing. There's a lot of porters that have like 20, 30 kg on their back. There are animals. I have no idea how the animals are going to pass. For me, it's a little bit emotional. I didn't even think about it. I got here and I saw Talha crossing. One of my best friends passed away in a water flood like this, so it brings up a lot of stuff for me. So, oh, that was hard. Really hard.
This experience shook me. 16 years ago, I saw my good friend die right in front of me, going into a river just like that. His name was Simon, and it happened in Oman. Since then, I've had a hard time going into water. Seeing Talha cross triggered something deep in me. I could see now that these mountains were taking me on a journey to some of the darkest parts of myself and bringing all of my fears to the surface. And it had only just begun. Finally, we have reached a camp rest spot here, but this is not our camp spot. We're only at 15 kilometers from where we left off this morning, and we still have 5 more kilometers to go. We've been trekking for 8.5 hours now. I think it's gonna take another 3 to 4 to get to our camp for the night. But they have restrooms here. They serve food, water, and everything. So it's gonna take a little break. Our group is way ahead. Oh my gosh, we're so far behind. Find a spot to go to the bathroom here. I think I'm a little dehydrated. I have not gone once today, which is a bad indicator. Maybe get some food. I'm not really hungry, but I could take off this bag and stretch. We didn't rest for long. It was past midday, and we still had a long ways to go. The sun was still very strong and hot, and the terrain seemed to be getting steeper and more difficult. Starting to get quite difficult now. It's very steep, very hot. We had gone a couple kilometers already since the water crossing, and we're headed straight up the mountain towards Gondo Gorola. Marking our progress on the Strava app. We've done 17.33 kilometers in 11 hours. Oh my gosh. And 17.3, that means we only have 3 more kilometers to go. I reckon it's going to be pretty steep from here. Mango Towers here. Oh, it's quite a sight way up here. This is like the most difficult route we can take because there's a huge elevation gain. At 700 meters, it just goes straight up. I'm feeling that.
Something didn't feel right though, and I was starting to think we actually went in the wrong direction. There are no signs out here and no one else in sight.
Alright, so we got ourselves a little lost. We have no idea which direction to go because there's two paths. There's one way down there and one way up there. We don't know which one to take because they go to two different, completely different places. So we're just chilling. Thank God for our umbrellas. We're just chilling here, watching the light of God. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You want to know the best part, Tata?
Yeah.
We're gonna get to camp tonight, and then we gotta wake up tomorrow at 5 and do it all over again.
Oh yes, that's what I was exactly thinking about.
Do it all over again for 3 more days. Apparently this was the
And we did
longest and
2.
hardest day.
By the way, we did 2 today.
Huh?
Yeah, the 2 camps.
Yeah, but this is the camp we're meant to go to. It's 20 kilometers.
Up until this point, I actually had no idea we were skipping camps and not having rest days. I thought it was completely normal to do 20 kilometers in one day and that the previous stop was only a lunch stop. I found out that the Hubertsay camp is actually the final destination people usually reach on the 4th day. For us, it was day 2 and we were pushing past this point going to the next camp.
This was the longest and hardest day, so that means it only gets easier from here on out. Woo!
Follow.
Follow the sun, which way the wind blows when this day is done. Straight? From up there? From down? Oh no. We're a little lost. We go down? We went the wrong way. Okay. Jalu, tell her you did that for nothing. And I remember you saying after this camp there's a turn and you have to go onto the glacier itself.
Yeah.
I may be making that up,
Guys, it's a long way down there. Be
but
very
my
honest
guess,
with each other.
we saw the porter going on the glacier, so my guess is glacier.
Come here.
Jalu,
At this point, I started to really doubt things. My gut feeling was saying down, as that's where I saw a couple of porters crossing. We decided to go down and try to flag someone walking by.
Oh my gosh. And it's very steep downhill. Oh shit. I think it's on the other side of this ridge. That's where the porter was.
Finally, after going a few hours and a couple kilometers out of our way, we found the right track.
Alright, so we finally found the track. Thankfully we saw some porters on the way. And they were down. It was down. Oh boy. It's crazy, there's no markers. It's very easy to get lost here without a guide or any real direction.
We took a quick break with the porters, but we couldn't rest for long. The sun was soon setting, and we still had a long ways to go.
Oh my gosh, that's where we were headed. And we actually had to go this way. So luckily we ran into these porters who are going to show us the way. Unlucky though that the sun is about to go down. And well, I stupidly wet my clothes again. And the worst part being is it's gonna be dark and we're gonna have to cross the glacier. And we can't lose these porters. We can't cross the glacier without them. And they're fast.
Every step seemed to be getting steeper. And by this time, after 12 hours of trekking, we were exhausted.
but still had many hours left until we reached our camp. Should not have put glacier water on me at this point when the sun is going down. I have to get my jacket on. I'll catch a flu. What elevation are we at?
We are 3,800 meters.
3,800. The sun is almost down. We gotta go fast. This is crazy. We're on the actual glacier, on ice. But it's getting dark. This is insane. How long is the glacier till we're off?
1 hour. We have to be fast because as soon as the sun goes down,
Yeah.
we can't see anything and that's dangerous.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying.
this is cold now.
A real big problem. It's getting hard. We can't go that fast. I'm not pushing myself.
You are?
Well, no, it's just because I haven't had any sleep.
No.
And I didn't eat today, and I'm dehydrated.
Feeling that, exhaustion, headache, and if you sleep, you might not wake up.
Nay.
Yeah, that's the reality. You'll be in coma for a while.
Nay, I'll be fine. I'll monitor it. I feel like I'm gonna throw up now. Jimmy.
This is not easy, right? This is like, you have to be careful.
Yeah, I'm being careful. That's why I've gone so slow. I'm so dehydrated. Altitude sickness. This was the first sign. At the time, I didn't understand the severity of the situation. I just thought because of the conditions of the day that my body was just exhausted. Despite feeling this way, I was determined to press on. Why didn't I listen to the signs my body was communicating to me? For 20 years, I battled with chronic illness. First thought to be fibromyalgia, later discovered it was actually Lyme's disease. I was in severe pain every single day of my life. This was my normal. Some say I'm stubborn, over-emotional, but you could never imagine what I have faced in my life. The will and strength I have inside to do the things that I do. 3 years ago, I self-healed my disease. This wasn't just a trek for me. This was something so much more. I had nothing to prove to anyone else I could do it, except myself. All right, it's 6:40. We've done 18.6 kilometers, which means we have a kilometer and a half. It's taken us 12 hours, almost 12 and a half hours. We're almost at the camp. You can see it? Ah, the white tent? Oh, almost there.
It wasn't so motivational, even after seeing the camp.
It's still quite far, but I think we've got maybe 20 minutes? No,
40. Yeah.
at this pace. That you said half an hour back there.
It
Huh?
motivates you actually.
No, it
If
doesn't.
somebody, if somebody tells you 4 hours, you won't even walk properly.
You know, every time we asked for the water source, they're like, oh, it's just half an hour.
And
Just half an hour.
that's his motivation for half an hour.
You can see the camp, but we're still about 40 minutes away. cold. Is this where we have to cross? Oh, look at that.
Be careful on the ice. Keep it down.
Sure.
Get into the ice, you'll slip.
Sure. Next thing we knew, it was pitch black. We couldn't see anything except what was right in front of us, and it was difficult to find a way. There was no clear marked path, and it was straight up to the camp, the steepest we had experienced so far. Oh my gosh. Oxygen. Feeling so dizzy.
I feel like I'm falling to the left.
I'm starting to get disorientated. Fuck. We have to go up to get to the camp. Find the track. It still seems so far away. I don't give up. I can do it. I'm stronger. You got it?
Steep.
It's fucking steep.
I want to rest a while and then I will go up.
See the lights is still so far away. Oh my gosh, I'm so done right now. Everything hurts. I have like no strength left in my muscles. I'm so hungry. Where's the food? Are you drumming? We made it! Good. Kana. Shabash.
Shabash there.
Oh, still gotta go up, hey? Oh, see.
Not our camp?
And is our camp? I don't know. I'm gonna steal it though. Is that our camp up there? I got to sleep, woke up at, my brain's gone. Went to bed at 11, woke up at 4:30. Everything hurts. My head is, can't even talk. Yes, but it was hard. So apparently I just found out, it's really interesting, giving me a very unique experience here, because most of the trekkers that go to base camp in the normal group treks, they go to the last camp right after the water crossing. But because this is an expedition of climbers, they like to get there really fast, so they bypass to the next camp, which is like two trekking days in one. So they're like, yeah, this is a hard thing, and I'm not a trekker. I'm not a trekker, so this is a extra special experience for me. you know, it's last night I was just thinking, I have to do it all again today. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm not trying to be dramatic or emotional. That's how I'm feeling. It was a hard day yesterday, and my body hurts a lot. So, and I'm with a group, and I have to keep up, and I can't stay behind. I can't rest. So I just have to take it one step at a time. And hope I make it all the way. But it's a beautiful view, oh my gosh. Let me see here. Yeah, we're at, what is it called? Urdukas. We're at Urdukas camp. Oh, the other thing I mentioned is I'm starting to show signs of altitude sickness. A little bit, I'm not sure if it's just like my body's just done and tired. But yesterday I was starting to get nauseous, really dizzy. My head is blasting and a weird pressure in my chest. It's just all new sensations for me. I mean, we gained a lot of elevation in one day. It was pretty insane. So I'm not sure how long the day is today, but apparently it's a lot easier. So yeah, one step at a time. I'm interested to get some insight from the other climbers just to see how they do it. I recorded the whole thing with Naila last night and it got my Sony messed up. It didn't record, so maybe I'll get that again because she has a lot of wisdom, that young woman. So anyways, I'm gonna have my coffee here. I'm gonna go up to that rock and enjoy the view before we start our third day. Cheers. Oh, they are still wet from yesterday. How was yesterday for you?
Yesterday was hard because we didn't stop at Khuburse. We came straight to Urdukas, so it was hard. I went through moments where I felt really energetic, and then moments when I was like, "Oh my God, will I be able to do this?" But anyway, I told you yesterday too. I thought I'll take it step by step. Step by step is hard, and even the base camp trek is hard. But I'm gonna take it step by step. I won't think of the summit now. Once I get there, I'll think of camp 1, come down, and then take it into steps. I have a couple of objectives to summit, apart from my passion, to inspire women, and also I wanted to show my network what Pakistan looks like, what North Pakistan looks like. So it's not just my personal objective. I mean, the other things I want to do to accomplish as part of this expedition. So yeah, so I keep that in mind, and that's what I kept thinking. Take it step by step. Take it step by step. Don't think too much. Don't overthink. And yeah.
For myself, any advice you can give, because I mean, I'm not a trekker, and I just found out actually the regular trekkers, they go to the last camp. They don't go all this way. So they don't skip the camp. So I'm getting a real taste of what
an expedition looks like. So usually what happens is the trekkers, they after Jola, go to Payo, maybe rest a day, then come to Khuburse, then Urdukas. But we had no rest. We came straight from Payo to Urdukas, and honestly, it's really tough. And it's actually for trekkers. I mean, because it's an expedition team, you join an expedition team. It's a bit too much, and I was a bit worried. But you did great. You did great, and you should be proud of yourself, because I don't think first time on my first trek I would have been able to do this. Yeah. So yeah.
So last night I was getting a little emotional, just thinking like, how am I gonna do it tomorrow? Like my body's done. Like, so how do you overcome that and just keep going when your body is done?
Yeah, I think I know you're mentally strong anyway, so I don't need to give you any advice. But today, don't worry about going slow. You be the last person, doesn't matter. You need to be slow, because if you're slow, it'll help you acclimatize. If you're trying to go fast, you'll mess up your system. So go slow, don't worry about others, don't worry how fast, don't worry how long you take, even if it's like 20 hours. Go slow and it'll help you acclimatize. And mentally, because I know I can understand, because I mean I'm here for expeditions, I can understand what your body might be going through, and what you did yesterday, it already proves that you are mentally very strong. So just keep doing what you did yesterday. Go slow and don't worry about others.
He gives me strength watching you. You know, I say, okay, gosh, you know, she can just push through. Like you're a bullet out there. I'm like, wow. Okay. So it gives me
But
motivation
honestly, you did great, because at one point I didn't even think you'd be able to cross the river, not because you're not strong, because when I crossed, I could see, I looked behind after 20 minutes, it was like really strong water and rock. So yeah, you were here, and you look great too. You don't look like you are sick.
Oh, my face is a bit done, but it's okay. It's all a part of the experience, and I'm getting a good taste of it. All right, well, best of luck for today.
Yeah, luck to you too. I think I'll be,
I got someone to carry my bag today, actually, so I'm going to try and keep up with this. Good luck!
Thank you.
We've just left the Ordukas camp here, and we're ready to start day 3 trek. As you notice, I'm a little lighter today. A young gentleman, Cyclan, one of the porters, is going to be taking my bag, thankfully. So hopefully I'll be able to have a more, not so difficult day. So here we are. So what is your mantra to keep going?
Step by step. When I struggle, I start counting my steps, to be honest. Like, it's not like there's a philosophical reason. In some cases, literally count your steps. When I really struggle,
Count your steps. It's like, I guess, a bit of a meditation, isn't it?
yeah. And sometimes it helps to be present. Sometimes, like I said yesterday, I was thinking, oh my God, this is hard. What about next stop? What about step 1? But then you have to stop that and be present where you are. Look at your surroundings and stop overthinking.
Well, don't look at your surroundings up. Keep looking down, or else you'll fall on your face. Breathe. Definitely don't want to jinx myself because it's still pretty early on, but today is so far proving to be a lot easier than yesterday. The track is pretty much straight, a few up and down sections, but for the most part we're making really good time, and stronger than I actually thought I was going to be today, because in all honesty, last night I was this close to giving up. I was like, how am I gonna do this? My body's done, absolutely done. And today, this morning, even I woke up in tears. I was like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? But happy so far. Don't jinx yourself, Rosie. Still early. Trying to keep up with Nyla. But damn, that girl is fast. She is one determined girl. Wow. But I do have to pace myself with the cardiovascular. But I have to say I'm very proud of myself because I am slightly ahead of the rest of the group. So I'm feeling stronger today. Yesterday I was done. We just finished a little lunch break, which is strange though because it's a fairly short day. Apparently it's only an hour and a half to the camp. And we reached lunch at about 10. I wish we kind of didn't. I'm not hungry. And made me really tired. We only have an hour and a half left till camp, which is great. Trying to enjoy this beautiful scenery, but I'm afraid my stomach's in a bit of trouble. I've been nauseous since last night. I want to vomit. And the other end isn't doing so well either, so it makes for a bit tricky thing out here. But not much around. Whoa. I'm quite dizzy too. I think it's from the elevation and a mix of things. But thankfully today is significantly easier, so there's not long till we get to camp. So I'm gonna get there and I'm just gonna pass out for the rest of the day and hopefully be near a toilet. Oh.
Just pray it stays cool. They're on the glacier.
Inside the glacier here. I'm not gonna go too far because it's probably not the safest thing, but I'm just gonna have a little peek where you can't really see much. So cold. So bright. At this point, I had been on my own again for a couple of hours, and some fears started to creep in. I wasn't scared, rather, I was just feeling so incredibly alone and vulnerable. The nausea was getting worse, and old wounds just sort of started to surface and overwhelm me, and my emotions took over. Being in this remote, desolate area by myself, feeling the way I did, brought a sense of despair and angst. What was I even doing here?
I'm sitting here in the middle of a glacier field in the middle of nowhere, crying. I don't even have words right now. It's so hard for me to breathe, and I'm so sick right now, and I'm so dizzy.
When I was 18, I read a scripture in the Bible that really spoke to me and completely changed my perspective. I always questioned, why have I been through so much pain in my life? Why have I suffered so deeply? And this verse answered that question. We can rejoice in our sufferings because sufferings produce perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. And hope in turn leads you closer to your heart, to God. It taught me that through all of our experiences, we are being refined and finely tuned. We arrived to the third camp here, but there is no shade anywhere. So I think House wants to send me home tomorrow. It says I'm having altitude sickness, but there's no way that I can go home right now. I think it's just dehydration and lack of sleep. Won't be getting much of a nap out here in this midday sun with no shade. But I just need some rest, so let's see what I can find. That's why it's so cold last night. We're sleeping on a glacier. It was the beginning of day 4, and given my current state, I wasn't super keen to film much. I was just focusing on feeling better and observing my surroundings. That every experience is just an opportunity to learn and grow deeper, not only through wisdom, but a higher evolution of our soul. We all have mountains to climb. The journey is never easy, but it's what we make of it and how we choose to see our circumstances that make the difference. Every experience is here for us, a gift and opportunity to grow. The land and terrain are changing rapidly as we ascend higher. This time tomorrow morning, we are expected to already reach base camp. Now is where the views really start to get impressive as we push closer to K2. But it continues to get steeper with a few new challenges. These are the amazing young fellows who are helping us with our bags because it just became too difficult. They're young and strong. I'm very weak. Look at this. All right. Thanks to my wonderful friends, we have made it to Concordia. I thought we were just going to the lunch spot. We're already here. Well then, shabosh. Not a bad place to stop and have some lunch. Not a bad view. Hello, K2. Concordia is another camp that most trekkers stop a night to rest before heading on. It's the first place where we get a glimpse of the mighty K2, but we only stopped here for a quick lunch and still had quite the distance to go to reach the next camp for the night. Having the help of Siklan made a huge difference, and they soon became good companions along the way. I didn't record our special interactions, but there were many. It was the first time these boys had ever done this trek before. He was the son of Ali, the head porter, and wanted to try this experience. I took lots of nice photos of them so they can have for memories, as this was their first experience, and I later sent them.
All right. Last night we were at 4,300 meters, and today we're climbing up to a whopping 5,000 meters. So the elevation makes it a bit tough to breathe. So you have to go very, very, very slowly, me especially. Ice. And as we come up to, I'm not sure where exactly we are now, but that, folks, is K2. Woo! You guys excited? Go ahead and enjoy. Woof, woof. Oh my gosh, I don't know where I would be without these two. Best guys.
It's because you didn't carry any bag from a long time.
No, it's like awkward to get up. Okay. I think, it would be less heavy without... I think the harness system is quite heavy itself.
Yeah.
The bag's not this heavy. Although...
Don't.
I was thinking there would be a lot of pressure. After 10 minutes you'll hear me complaining. But it's not bad, this strap jugar system.
Jugaad.
Jugar. Mind you, this weight isn't so much. But, and after some time.
Now put it off and it's a difficult job. You have to
Oh no, let me put it up here for you so you don't have problems.
Be careful.
Don't want to break your system here.
So how was your experience?
I won't be doing that anytime soon. Good job, guys.
Let's move.
Seeing K2 gave me hope and made me feel a huge relief. We were almost there, and every step brought us closer to our final destination. What could that be? Kitne ganta? How long?
Like 3 hours, 2 hours.
3 hours? At least Baijan's getting a massage. Can he feel it through?
It's gonna heat up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good for my hands.
He's been getting a massage the whole time. Go ahead, enjoy your massage. This was the boys' first time being a porter. How did you feel? Do they want to be a porter again? Now he wants to study. So today was fairly easy. Still, by far, day 2 was the hardest. Today was pretty easy. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference also. Not having anything on my back. I'm so grateful. But yeah, day 2. Day 2 was a doozy. And pretty surprised actually, because I was absolutely shattered after that day. Woke up the next day, I was okay. And still feeling pretty tired yesterday. Body was a little sore, but bouncing back super quick. Really impressed. 5 years ago that wouldn't have been the case. So I'm really grateful, and can't believe I almost made it to K2. Feeling very strong. It has been difficult, mainly the distance and the elevation and the cardio with the extreme uphills that I was not anticipating or expecting. The heat, the lack of water. Oh my gosh, it is not for the faint of heart, but it is amazing nonetheless, and I can't wait to see what it feels like to actually arrive at base camp. So, did it. Almost there. I summited K2! So we are nearly at the broad peak rainy base camp. And we've got K2 right in front of us. And so far today, this is day 4, and we have gone 18 kilometers, and it's taken roughly about 10 hours with some good breaks in there. And yeah, I think about 15 more minutes and we'll be reaching camp. Hurrah! And then it is K2 base camp tomorrow. So this is what happens at high elevation. Your whole face swells. Good morning. But a beautiful morning it is. You certainly can't beat that view. With coffee. Yes, we bring our father everywhere. Oh my face is bad, isn't it? Good morning. So you're probably wondering, where exactly do we go to the toilet out here? Well, you find a big rock. First off, you walk far away from the camp. You find a big rock, and you just hope no one walks by. Well, what a view. No, there are no showers. We are on day 5 of trekking non-stop up to 5,000 meters here. We haven't had a shower yet. Baby wipes come in handy, and yeah, I mean, you just do what you gotta do.
And then we were off, our last day. Apparently, it was only 2 to 3 hours until base camp. The final push for the last 100 meters of elevation gain, where K2 base camp stands at 5,100 meters. Luckily, it wasn't far, and we were blessed with the most perfect weather. we could see every mountain with so much detail as we trekked along the final stretch of Baltoro Glacier.
A lot of it's covered by rocks, and that's why every year when we come here, it keeps changing because of climate change. So where we camped at Concordia, we used to camp, I don't know, 1 kilometer away from there.
Oh, really? It's changing that fast?
It's changing really fast.
Wow.
So yeah, but yeah, all of this is glacier. It's just this one's not covered by rock. This is covered by rock. So we've been sleeping on the glacier for the last 2 nights. Three.
But still, my head is pounding quite hard. I'm okay if I'm resting a bit, but if I move even my eyeballs, there's a pulsation. We got about an hour and a half left till we get to K2 base camp. So just taking it easy up here, enjoying the views. Woo woo! So it was interesting, we stopped in at the camp over there and there's a doctor there. And I should have recorded it, would have been interesting, but she had an oxygen saturation machine and a blood pressure machine. My blood pressure was normal, although I was resting a bit, 120/80. The oxygen was a bit low, 76. I really want to get my hands on one and test it when I'm climbing, because it's a bit of a struggle to get the oxygen in the blood. We go very slow. Walking on a glacier. Oh. Oh. There's so many pockets. That's so crazy. Whoa. Absolutely blasting at every step I take. Trying to keep up with the group, but it's really difficult. Sweet Nyla is not going ahead. I kept telling her to push on, but she's waiting for me. Last push, last hour. I can do this.
Every step felt like 1,000 pounds, and my head was blasting. I know it didn't really seem like it, but I was actually really struggling. I could barely breathe or see, but I was so determined to reach base camp. I was so close.
How are you feeling seeing K2 right in front of you?
Really excited because it's the first time I'm seeing K2 this close, and honestly I thought I'd be nervous because I was nervous coming here, but after seeing K2 I'm very excited, more excited and not nervous at all. And I'm not even thinking about how hard it'll be. I'm just thinking, okay, step by step, camp 1, come down, camp 2, camp 3, and then up. So yeah, it is actually surprisingly very exciting.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
This girl is just bombing up the mountain. Oh my gosh, she's like she's the fastest one. We can't keep up. We're trying to document her. We can't even keep up.
No, honestly, you've done. I'm saying it again. You've done amazing for. Because we came really fast. I said it again. We take usually 2 or 3 days break, and she's done incredibly well for.
for the first time on this track.
And you're such a motivation and such a support and help. I don't think I could have done this.
You could have,
Without
I'm
you.
sure.
No.
You're very strong too. We won't know that.
This is great. Yeah. Special that I get to share this with you.
Yeah, me too actually. With a very strong woman right next to me, hearing your story, it's been actually quite. Because I try to keep myself motivated, and usually on the previous tracks or expedition, I didn't have somebody as strong as you who shared their story, and you know that motivated and inspired me too. So thank you for sharing your journey with me.
Shall we? Yes. Oopre! We almost made it.
Yeah, there's just few meters left. We're done.
Almost there. My head is blasting. I feel like I want to vomit, but I'm so happy right now. Oh, wow. Almost there. Chalo, almost there.
In 4 days.
4 days. Expedition time. 4 days to get to K2 base camp. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty proud of myself, I must say. Base camp! We made it! Holy! Oh my gosh, we made it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we made it. Ah!
Me too. I'm actually very excited.
Guys! Your team!
बहुत जल्दी में
Oh, that's way too bright without glasses. Oh my gosh. Kana shana time. Kana.
Noodles, strudels.
Noodles
I
strudels?
think it's S. Jute, shute, kapre, shapre.
I'm out of breath. I can't breathe. But we made it. Woo.
Again, I'll say that about 10th time. This itself is an achievement, massive achievement. Because even when I was coming up, I was struggling. It's not, I'm an athlete, but I struggled. So for your first big track, well done. High five.
And you're about
Wow. I cannot believe I'm actually, even I was here 4 years ago. I didn't actually get to the base camp 4 years ago. That was my first track, and that, it's called King of the Tracks, K2 base camp track. And I cannot believe within only 4 years I'm actually here planning to be at the top of this mountain. Wow, this beautiful mountain.
what's going through your mind?
Honestly, first thing, I'm really grateful that I'm here. Like I said, within 4 years I have, usually people climb for years and years to get to this stage, to even be here, to plan, to try and attempt the summit. I cannot believe I'm actually here. It's happening. Yeah, I cannot believe it. I know it'll be very hard. It'll be very difficult. But I'm here to try it, and that's what I am really excited about. Goshabrim 2, that's also an 8,000 meter peak. It's 8,035 meters exactly. And my very first peak again, but I didn't know if I'll be able to summit. So I had no idea. I just wanted to test my body. I thought I'll go as high as I can, and my first aim was 7,000, and I got there without any issue. I was like, woohoo! And then I went for the summit push with an open mind. I said, whatever happens, I will not be disappointed, because my aim was 7,000. So I crossed that, and I'll see what will happen on the summit push. So when I reached the summit, I could not believe that I am not from I'm not from Gilgit-Baltistan. I don't live in the mountains. Assalamualaikum, kya hal hai? ठीक ठाक.
Assalamualaikum, Kale, how are you?
Oh, sorry. Thank
Oh,
you.
very nice.
Shukriya. अच्छा.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ali, thank you so much for all of your help. Thank you. Good health. Yeah. You have a wonderful son. Inshallah, he will do good in his studies. Hello.
In August or September, went to Snow Lake track, and he wasn't even on 4,000, and he was an experienced trekker. I mean, he did Gondogorola, Ketu Base Camp track, and he had altitude sickness. He didn't tell anyone, and he died. Because the thing with altitude sickness is, whether, I don't know if you heard the term HAPE or haze, they affect the brain or the lungs, and they start with maybe headache or hallucination, depending on what it is. But as soon as you have the symptoms, you need to stop, calm down, rest. If you don't get better, then end the trek. If you don't, so that guy, he didn't tell anyone. He had altitude sickness symptoms, and next day he passed away.
Oh my.
And he was a very loving member of the trekking group, so everyone was really upset.
So this will be our home for the next few days here. K2 base camp. We all have our individual tents set up that the crew has set for us every time, which is so nice. At the end of a long day, a long trek, we don't have to set our tents up or take them down. Well, excuse me, sorry. I literally feel like I'm gonna vomit right now. Oof. I need to. Let me sit down actually. So we're at about, I think this is 5,000 meters. Oh, I feel sick. No, don't ruin my victory. You got it. It's not easy when you do it in such a short duration of time and so quickly. Your body doesn't have the time to acclimate to the elevation, so it's harder when you do it quick. Coming. Welcome to the base camp. Oh, they got decorations too. It's like they got all the kitchen tents set up here, and the mess tents where we eat. Hello, how are you? I mean, you really can't beat this view here.
Just after this, I completely collapsed. I could barely see, my head was pulsating so strong. At this point, my determination became detrimental to my life. If things didn't improve, I had no choice but to leave.
So I'm here with Dr. Rana Hassan here, which is so nice that we have a doctor on hand, because I came up here, I did not film it, but I was a mess. My head was blasting. And it's a pretty serious thing having,
High altitude sickness.
High altitude sickness, yeah. So people can die from it, and apparently because I have a headache, that's not good. Hubsy actually wanted to send me down already. I'm having to take 8 of these tablets. What is this?
Dexamethasone.
I can't even pronounce that. I have to take 8 of these at once to reduce the swelling in my brain. Is that it? So yeah, let's see how this goes. So I once had to, I think this was the same tablet I had to take, but I had to take 16 when I had my crash. Are you sure it's not going to stop? And if it's just like a normal headache and I take this medicine, it's okay?
Then it's not going to work.
No, but it's not going to do anything bad if I don't have my swelling, right?
Yeah.
If it's okay. They're big. I had to pose. I remember when I had to take 16 of them, it was so awful. Okay, Jello, let's see how she goes. Hopefully I'll be feeling better and the headache will be gone and I don't have to leave this beautiful place. So it's about 1 hour later and my headache's gone. I still feel really like euphoric. It's really strange, but the headache is gone for the most part, which is a good sign, which means I don't have to leave base camp. Oh my gosh, I was so worried about that. My head was hurting so bad. I could barely move. I couldn't open my eyes. It was just pounding. And my oxygen saturation was about 72, 69. And they're like, you gotta go, you gotta leave, you can't stay here. And oh my gosh, I just got here. It's like, no way. It's not possible. Luckily, there was a doctor that arrived, and he had some medicine to help reduce the swelling. Basically, I guess with altitude sickness, your brain swells, and it's a very serious thing. As Nyla was explaining earlier, that people die from this, and so it's a very serious thing, not to be taken lightly. As you can see, it's still a struggle to breathe. I didn't really know what I was signing up for because I thought, oh, it's just a regular trek to K2. But I didn't realize I was a special expedition team that does it in like quicker time. So very determined that I didn't want to go down because I would like to stay here for a few days. So I think because the headache is gone, it means it's okay and I can stay. And then it won't get any worse. So we just have to monitor it and be safe and just see. Yeah, what a crazy adventure. I don't. So much happened in the past 5 days. Yeah, I can't believe I made it to K2 base camp. It's crazy. Anyways, we'll update you when I'm feeling better.
They say that the trek to K2 base camp is a pilgrimage, a journey that unravels your armor and breaks to the soft flesh below, piercing the vulnerable parts of you, the parts that no one knows. We all have our own mountains to summit. The biggest wall we have to climb is the one we have built inside. For me, this trip was far more than just trekking to base camp. For so many years, I had fought with my own body and mind, restricted by the disease that held me captive, unaware that it was
myself that had the key the entire time. Once aware, I unlocked the door to my truth, but the scars of once was still ran true. Our fears are what inevitably lead us to our liberation. If we sat comfortably and never questioned what was, or was curious enough to search deeper, if we were too meek or scared to even try, we would never know that we could fly. To be brave does not mean you aren't scared. Being brave means that you have the courage to do it despite being afraid. You follow the fear to see where it leads, through valleys and peaks where your emotions are freed. And once you summit that mountain, overcoming all obstacles to get to the top, everything becomes clear and the confusion disappears. When the view becomes vast beyond belief and the past no longer gets in your way, but pause to take a moment of appreciation for all that you've been through up to this day has given you the strength to get here where you are meant to be, right here, right now. So give thanks to the mountain before you, one step at a time. Don't race to get to the finish line. The journey is not about the final destination, so slow down and enjoy the ride.
It's no good. I really called me and I want to puke. I woke up, I can't even call yet. You're gonna have to sit me down. This morning, but the doctor brought. There's only 7 pills left, not 8 though. And I don't know what's gonna go on. Oh God. Oh look. Okay, dude, just behind me. I can't even enjoy it up here. I'm trying just to take in the scenery. It's beautiful all around me, but it feels like I have meningitis all over again. My head is hurting so bad, I feel nauseous. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they have to bring me down to the lower camps. I'll just wait and see if the medicine kicks in, I guess.
It literally became a life or death decision. I had to leave ASAP and start walking assisted down the mountain. It felt impossible to move, but I had no choice. The only cure is to get off the mountain.
The helicopters are coming. I was trying to go down to the camps, but they said I have to take a helicopter, so the army is coming to pick me up. That's something to have this kind of pain and hike down the K2 track.
Just sit on the way, not on the glacier.
I thought I could get over it, but it's not something you want to mess with. Now these guys are trying to notify the helicopter because look at them. Great guys. Because they missed us, they didn't see us here on the glacier. We're on the glacier here. You may say, why am I making a video in this condition? Well, I think if I'm dying, I would capture it.
You probably won't see me getting into the helicopter though. But you can hear them, they're coming. I've got my team.
I can walk into the unknown, take this path and watch it unfold, walk these roads of discovery, come with me.
Hi Rosie, obviously I'm here at the K2 base camp. Unfortunately I couldn't see you, but you know what, I wish you a very very happy birthday. Have a blast, take care.
Face the fire, leave the shadows. Stand alone, I'll walk this road. Take this path of discovery. Follow me. Ready, check, see the light. I won't run, I won't hide. No, no. Rising up, rising high. We are strong, hear us cry. Whoa, whoa. We are strong enough. Whoa,
Amazing. So how does a girl from Punjab who's never really done a big trek, you know, to prepare for that, how does one summit a peak like that? Where does that come from?
I think what helped me was intention, the right intention basically. I didn't climb because I wanted to be the first woman or I wanted money or fame or whatever, because all I wanted to do was test my body, my limits, and see how far I can go. It was just a passion, and I think that's what helped me, because I had no other motives, nothing else. Just I want to climb, I want to see how far I'll go up and how my body will react, and I wanted to see I want to see the view from the top. I want to see how it feels to be on top of the mountain, and I think that's what helped me, because like I said earlier, it's something unheard of that somebody who's not from mountains, and the very first peak that person attempts is 8,000 meter peak, and that person manages to summit. So it's the passion that helped me get there.
Wow.
Like I said, it's an achievement in itself to get here to the base camp, and I want to experience being at the top again, inshallah. So let's see.
Inshallah, she's going to do amazing, and I'm so excited to be here, and I can't even believe I made it here. I will not be summiting any mountains, by the way. I'm not as strong as this girl here.
You never know. Once I did this trek I did this trek and I said, never ever again in my life I'm
Yeah,
coming
did
back
you?
here again. But that's why I said to myself, never ever I'm coming back here
Yeah.
again. And this is my 3rd time here.
Is it?
So you never know, never say no.
Well,
I'll ask you a few months later.
I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. It was definitely a challenge for me, a pretty big challenge. The biggest thing I've ever done in terms of like physical pushing myself. The achievement of getting here is pretty amazing, and honestly, I didn't know my body could do that. I did not. So, but like you said, it's this determination and this passion. Willpower. That's the one. Willpower. I'd like to say I'm strong-willed. My mother would say I'm stubborn. So would my husband.
My mother says the same.
I'd like to say strong-willed, but yeah. Chalo, kana shana time.
Kana shana, yes, noodle shooters.
Noodle shooters.